All right, Ryan. Pretty morning, but it is a little bit damp out there. We got some rain last night.
Yeah, a little bit of rain and damp conditions, but calm conditions. So most likely looking pretty good for the Albuquerque box effect. Now, we do have that easterly wind this morning. Some of those winds coming down from the Sandias. That's symbolizing, yeah, that colder, more dense air, but that wind will subside. Also, that drainage wind coming in from the northern mountains will move on through the Rio Grande Valley, through Albuquerque, including Balloon Fiesta Park. Aloft, though, southerly winds are still present out there. So as balloons launch in the lower levels of the atmosphere, they'll likely move from north to south, closer to downtown. Then, as the hot air balloons rise, they'll move from south to north, and they may land back to where close to they launch. So something that we'll keep an eye on, the Albuquerque box effect. And looking pretty good for that. Around 7 o'clock, those easterly winds will be a bit lighter, even more from the north and east. And aloft, a few hundred feet up, unlike yesterday, winds will even be lighter out there. At the surface, maybe a little bit breezier compared to yesterday morning. Now, as we get closer and closer to the higher elevations, into the higher levels of the atmosphere, winds will switch more from the south-southwest. It may be a bit breezy, around 1,500 to 2,500 feet. So something we'll keep an eye on. But either way, beautiful weather conditions for a Balloon Fiesta. Here are our current sustained winds. A little bit breezy there in Moriarty, as well as at the Sunport. 10-mile-per-hour sustained winds out there, but we're pretty calm in the Northeast Heights. Very likely very calm but damp conditions at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta Park. And not that cool out there. 62 at the Sunport, 57 Rio Rancho, 60 in the Northeast Heights. I do think temperatures will drop a little bit. Some patchy mist and fog, not out of the realm of possibility. Meanwhile, 53 in Edgewood. We're at 56 in Moriarty, 56 as well at Double Eagle. We're at 45 in Taos, 42 Alamosa, 52 in Raton, 68 Carlsbad, 70 Alamogordo. So temperatures a little bit milder for many compared to yesterday. And we're going to be seeing, even in Clayton, a warming trend as well. Patchy fog may start to develop in the East Mountains. We're starting to see that in the Moreno Valley once again, as well as in the San Luis Valley. Now, Alamosa right now, 10-mile visibility. That may change. 2-mile visibility Santa Fe, 10-mile visibility in Las Vegas, 6-mile visibility in Ruidoso, 4-mile visibility in Roswell, even lower visibility in Clayton, and even occasionally in Tucumcari. Here's a live look at Ski Santa Fe. It is dark out there, but there is some reduced visibility. Very humid, 97% humidity, 43 degrees, so chilly and humid, especially around the Ski Santa Fe area. Clouds and rain activity moving away from the Ski Santa Fe Basin into the Las Vegas, Villanueva area, even near Tucumcari. Some showers and rumbles of thunder trying to pivot their way closer to Clovis and Elida and Caussy. More showers just off to generally the east of Las Cruces, and also very light showers near Roswell. Later throughout the morning and the afternoon, we'll see more clouds, more rain activity, keeping things relatively mild from north to south today. More uniform temperatures in the 60s and 70s for many. Carlsbad, Hobbs, all the way toward Deming. Temperatures may reach the low 80s. So those clouds and storms will dissipate then. They'll reform this afternoon in the mountains near Ruidoso, all the way through the western and northern mountains. A slight chance of flooding is possible in local areas. But more of those storms will form out west today and may approach Albuquerque, Santa Fe, even the Carson National Forest, all the way towards the Jemez Mountains. Then they'll dissipate over the Rio Grande Valley, so something we'll keep an eye on around midnight. Surrounding this quasi-monsoon high-pressure system will be that moisture plume moving from southwest to northeast, courtesy of the remnants of a couple of tropical systems. Will deal with more rain activity all the way through the end of the weekend. Locally, high amounts of rainfall and some of that precipitation in the San Juan Mountains may be in the form of wet snow, so we'll have to watch out for that. Temperatures will drop in Durango, lows in the high 30s and 40s eventually. Alamosa, highs in the high 60s, lower 70s. Cortez near 80 degrees today, as well as Farmington, Gallup, and Cuba, highs in the 70s for the most part, but storms will cool things off in the coming days, especially by the earlier parts of the weekend. Camado, Deming, and Alamogordo getting a taste of fall with the storms. Breezy conditions are possible, especially there in Lordsburg. Cloudcroft, 50s, Ruidoso, 60s, Roswell, all the way to Hobbs in the 70s and low 80s. Tucumcari, Mora, and Raton, temperatures in the 70s and low 80s. It'll be a little bit warmer compared to yesterday, then we may cool down this weekend. From the northern mountains towards Santa Fe, cooler compared to yesterday. More rain is likely this afternoon, and again, as Stephanie mentioned, we had some wet weather overnight. Moriarty, Cedar Crest, Sandia Park, to from the north to south valley of Albuquerque. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s for the most part Our average high is 74 today. Even cooler potentially tomorrow. And then we'll see more on and off showers and storms in the afternoons. But Balloon Fiesta looking mostly A-OK.
All right, we can kind of deal with the afternoon storms. It does kind of put a damper on that glow from time to time, but we're going to hope that it clears out just in time for the glows too.
Yeah, I think more positive than negative with this forecast.
All right, thanks, Ryan.